Okay, on the last video, I drew this lady with ink on paper. And now I'm going to do a quick color version in Procreate and show you how I do it. So the first thing I did is I just imported this photo into Procreate. And the first thing I'm going to do is flip it. So I'm going to click on Canvas, flip horizontal, and then just take a look at it. This one is not that bad. Sometimes when I flip it, I see that the perspective is off and the sizing is off. This one is not that bad. But if I wanted to fix it, I would click that button. I don't know what that is. I think that's a magic wand button. And click liquify. And this adjusts the size of my liquify brush. And then I'll just push it around a little bit. Maybe this cheek needs to go out a little. This one maybe needs to come in a little, so that it's not like out of perspective. It's definitely a cartoon drawing, so it's going to be a little weird. I just realized I didn't draw her teeth. Look at that. Oh well, I'll put that in when I edit the video. Okay, so that looks decent. So let's flip it back. Click on the tool button, flip horizontal. There we are, back again. Now I'm going to lower the opacity. I just touch that with 2 fingers, then slide it. The opacity comes down. Let's send it way down. Alright, now I'm going to create a layer above that. I'll pick a different color. You don't have to pick a different color, but it just helps me, sparks my creativity and helps me to see the difference. Let's see what I'm doing. Oh yeah, and I want to show you, I'm using the Studio pen. If you go into the inking section, you'll find a Studio pen. And what I did is I just kind of duplicated the Studio pen. I think I made it a little thicker. That would be something for another video, because believe it or not, I can't remember how I did that. And then, so that's the pen. And here we go. So I'm looking for basic ways that I can improve this. Okay, I didn't improve it very much. But I think I'm ready to ink it in, because this is a quick version. If I was doing this as commissioned art, there is a much more detailed version of what I do, but this one will work. I'm just going to lower the opacity a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm forming a layer above it. And I'm going to name that layer Lines. And because she's wearing glasses, let's create a layer just for glasses. Rename that Glasses. Alright, I'm going to start off drawing the glasses. Okay, let's start on the layer called Glasses. if I draw a curved line and just hold it for a second, Procreate will draw that curved line for me. See, I draw it like that, it's kind of shaky, but if I just hold on and wait, it will correct the line for me. I'm trying to make good lines on this, but if I mess up, we'll just laugh about it. Okay, that was the glasses layer. Now we're going to draw the eyes. I'm kind of exaggerating. It's not exactly what I see in the photo. I want it to be a little more cartoony than my first drawing. I'm going to add a little highlight there and add the pupil. Shadow. Let's see now. A little line to show the under eyelid wrinkle. Got the eyebrow on there. Let's see. Now her eyes kind of appear a little close together. And so I'm making them just a little closer together than they are in reality. Also, her eye is not touching the rim of the glasses as much as this drawing is showing. I'm going to show you a trick to get the eyes exactly the same. This only works for a straightforward view where she's looking straight at the camera. If there's 3/4, this might not work. I'm going to copy the eye with a lasso tool and then hit copy and paste. Now you'll see it's copied and pasted on a different layer. Now I'm going to hit the move tool and just slide it over. Adjust it a little bit, and there it is. But the reason that I do this is so that this eyeball is exactly the same size as that eyeball. Now I'm going to erase any edges that don't fit. Looks like it's fitting perfectly. Merge it back down to the line layer, and we keep on moving forward. A little wrinkle here under the eye. The next eyebrow, and this one is nothing like the photo. But because I'm making it just a little more cartoony, I think it works. Okay, now the bottom of the nose. At this point, I'm just kind of drawing in what I see. All right, the mouth. She's got the asymmetrical smile and the thin lips. I may stylize some teeth on there. So I could like lower the opacity, make the lines a little thinner. And then just draw some lines for the teeth. I mean, of course you can draw the whole teeth in a more complex way, but just for this drawing, let's just do it like that. And then we got the smile wrinkles. There's a tiny wrinkle where the chin starts. Okay, now we've got the chin on there. That line's not thick enough. Let's try it again. Okay. Cheek and the jawline. Forehead. Alright, I'm just simplifying. Okay. There's this hair shape that goes to this, I think it's a ribbon back there. And then the hair kind of flows away from that because it's constraining all the hairs. And then there's another shape here. Make the line a little thicker. Let's see. These two shapes blend together, so let's see. There we go. There's some flip out here on the edge. Alright, the other side, there's a part here. And I'm just looking at the whole shape. There's another shape of hair back there that curls outward. Alright, now the lines of how the hair is flowing. Maybe just a couple. I drew right through the glasses, but because the glasses are on another layer, now I can erase the part that crossed over. Oops, put her neck in there now. Collar of her shirt. Looks like she has a jacket on top of that shirt, so there's actually two collars. And that's just a simple line to show where her shoulders are. And that's my lines. I'll make this sketch disappear, and I'm ready to put some color on there. Also, any place where the glasses were obscured, I can fix that with erasing it. Another cool thing I can do with these glasses, if they were in the wrong position, since I drew them on the second layer, I can move them around. I could make them bigger. And then I can hit reset to send it back where it was before because I kind of liked it. Okay, so now I'm going to start another layer, and I'm going to name this Flat Color. And this is my quick method for coloring. So I'm going to choose a color. Let's do this one. I'm just going to outline the color that I'm using. Remember, this is on a different layer that is below the lines. Now I'm going to touch the color and drag it over and release it inside those boundaries, and it fills it. Then I color in the eyes, put the white of the eyes in, and the white of the teeth. She's got brown eyes, so put the brown of the eyes in. Eyebrows. Let's see. Let's choose this color for the eyebrows. On the eyebrows, I usually lower the opacity and then draw over my eyebrow shape. And I can go right through the glasses because they're on a separate layer and we can deal with those separately. Then I got a blush pink color for the lips. I'm also lower the opacity for the lips. I'm putting that right on top of the color layer. You can do this on a separate layer, but for this video we're just going to do it the simple, quick way. Maybe I'll do like the more complicated ways of doing it on a different video. Okay, now the hair. I'm basically just picking out a hair color that's similar to what she has. Maybe this. We'll test it a little bit. Let's see. That looks pretty good. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just going to outline the area that I want to cover. Make sure there's no gaps in that line. Then I'm going to touch this, bring it over, and then release it, and it fills that area. Same thing on the other side. Let's see, for the shirt and the jacket. The shirt is dark blue. If you make a mistake, just hit the back button. Drag it over carefully this time and drop it. Okay. Okay, now let's do the glasses on a totally separate layer above that. Create a new layer above it. Now her glasses are like a tannish brown with dark brown mixed in. So first off, I'm going to draw in a tannish brown. Now this is on a separate layer, so I'm just drawing it to match the lines. You know, another way you could do it, let me show you something. Another way you could do it is just duplicate the glass layer and then choose the glass layer below the top one. Then I can just fill it in, because that didn't work. Let's see what happened. Oh, I see. Gotta make sure there's no breaks in the line. Looks like I have a break in the line right here. I think that's it. Let's try it again. Boom. Okay, now I can form a clipping layer on top of that. Choose a darker brown. And the clipping layer is going to cause it to only hit the layer below it. The smudge tool can smooth out some here and there parts. I'm worried this may end up being a long video, so I hope you guys, if you guys like a video like this, please hit the like button. Let me know, because if it's too long of a video, I'll make the next one shorter. Or we can even go longer, whatever you guys like. Alright, so now I can merge down the clipping layer to the colored glasses layer, and I've got my glasses colored. It's all ready to go. Okay, so we're going to go back down to the layer above the flat color. Let's just create a new layer. And we're going to name this layer Shadows. Then I'm going to hit this button here, set it to multiply. Okay, now I'm going to do some shadows on the skin tones first. And to do that, I'm just looking at my photo. I'm drawing the shadows exactly where I see shadows. To me, shadows are pretty easy. Especially if you're working in a cartoon style, because I'm just putting the shadows in exactly what I see on the photo. But you can get complicated with it. But what I'm doing here is I'm trying to simplify the shadows. Kind of figuring it out as I go also. So basically what I did is 2 levels of shadows. There's the deeper shadows around the eye and at the chin and this cheek line. You can also do it here. And then there's another level of shadows, which is just the form of the face. Now in reality, there's probably dozens of layers of shadows. But it looks like I've simplified it just to 2. And then if you want, you can click on the smudge tool, and I have the smudge tool set to airbrush, and you can smooth out the edges, kind of adjust how big you want it. opacity. Then you can just smooth out some of these edges. Or you can leave the edges on there. I'm going to add a little bit more of a cast shadow under her chin. Okay, now I'm choosing the color. And I don't know if you noticed that how I choose the color of the hair. Just hold my finger down and it automatically selects that color. But I'm still on the multiply layer. So now I'm drawing the shadows that I see in her hair. And for this drawing, I'm just trying to simplify what I see. I guess what I'm doing is just looking for shapes of shadows. So in other words, I see this S shape in the shadows and I just draw it as a perfect S shape. I'm not trying to make it exactly like the photo. And it looks kind of cool, you know? Those like stylish shapes. It almost looks like I'm doing that, trying to create a style on purpose. And actually I'm just doing that by accident and it's kind of accidentally looking good. Maybe we'll draw a little shadow down here where the light's coming down and her hair is casting a shadow on her shirt. The collar of her shirt. Okay, now this is how I finish a simple color drawing, is create a new layer above all that. Now let's set it. This is going to be highlights. So I'm either going to set it to screen or add. Either one of those are highlights. The add is very harsh and bold, and the screen is less bold but still highlights. So we're going to set this one to screen. I'm going to rename this layer highlights. And once you've done this a billion trillion times, you don't even need to name your layers. But I think it works best for this video to go ahead and name the layers. Okay, so ready for the highlights. So let's start with the face. I'm going to choose a skin tone color, and let's see. I'm looking at the photo. I see some highlights here, so let's draw one. A highlight that follows the brow of her eye right there. There's a highlight on this edge of her jaw and cheek. I see a highlight there, so I'm just drawing what I see. Another one sort of there. There's a highlight here. And a highlight in this area. One over here. And there's more than that, but let's simplify it. Maybe one over here. Okay. Some of these highlights are more bold than others, so I'm just going to soften the edges of some of these. Especially this one is not as prominent as the others, and this one either. Softening the edge, and if you want to just make the whole thing soft, just go over the whole thing. We could soften that edge. Okay, highlights in the hair. Let's choose a color. You can choose a darker color if you want, because you've made the layer, or you set it to add or screen, and so it's automatically going to turn it into a highlight, even if it's a darker color. So the simplest place to put the highlight is right on the top where the light is hitting it. And you can do more than that. The nib on this pin may need to be replaced. Oh, I see, it's not screwed in tight. Okay, it's not, my pen's, the battery might be dying in my pencil. That's what happens when you're making a video. But that's it. That is my simple coloring method for Procreate. I've got the lines on a separate layer. I did the glasses on a separate layer also. And then below that I've got flat color, shadows, highlights. So let me know, please, if you like this type of content, and I'll make more videos like this. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the next video.